It's Thursday, April 29, 2021. Before I start this video on this late afternoon, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted with the newest channel, and share this video all over your social media. Send it to your friends, send it to people you don't know. Blast this video everywhere. Let's get started right now. A few things off the top of my head that I want to talk about. One of them being the middle class. I become more and more concerned every day on a daily basis about where this country's going financially, spiritually, socially, politically, and all that. But I'm very, very concerned for the middle class because the middle class is the backbone of this country and it's being absolutely decimated. We're now watching the middle class become addicted to the government. It's addicted to the government for help. You have the middle class needing PPP loans, needing to borrow money from the government in order for their businesses to survive. We're watching middle class families now dependent on stimulus checks in order to eat. And I think we're going to see taxation in America skyrocket, and I think the group that will be most affected by taxation is going to be the middle class. They're going after anyone now with a job, anybody that can produce an income. And as we watch more and more of our stores and our restaurants go out of business, that means that our cities, like this one right here, isn't getting that tax revenue. So who are they going to go after for the lost tax revenue? Anyone working, anyone with a job. The middle class is the target, right? They'll be target number one. Anybody producing an income at this point, they're going after. And so I don't have a crystal ball, but from what I can see and from what I'm hearing, listening to our politicians, listening to Joe, get ready for big taxes in America. Middle class, get ready. And as you know, the ultra wealthy, they don't pay taxes, ladies and gentlemen. They are savvy, they are sophisticated. They have people that they pay lots of money to in order to protect their wealth. The middle class, the poor, going to be decimated. And I was reading an article a couple days ago, Riverside County, the county that I'm in right now. If you live in unincorporated Riverside County, they're going to raise your trash bill, your trash pickup. And so if they're going to do that to the unincorporated parts of Riverside, guess who's next? The rest of Riverside. So your trash pickup will be more. Get ready to see your water bills go up. Get ready to see your electricity bill go up. Get ready to see your gas bill go up. Everything is going to go up, ladies and gentlemen, because this state's broke. More than likely, your state is broke. But what we do know is the entire country is broke. We're now exceeding $28 trillion of debt. And Joe just said, get ready for another $1.8 trillion. We're going to be printing a lot more money, ladies and gentlemen. So this tells me that your dollar is going to be devalued. They're going to tax you more. Your standard of living is going to go down. The whole thing is a mess. And while all this is going on, Dow Jones up today, S&P up today, record close on the S&P, NASDAQ up. So higher taxes, more money printing, devaluation of your currency, massive debt is all good news for the stock market. This is where we're at. We are in La La Land. This is the twilight zone, ladies and gentlemen. On top of that, here's some more good news for everybody. We lost another 553,000 jobs last week. Yes, that's the number. 553,000 Americans filed first-time jobless claims last week. But according to this article on CNBC, first-time jobless claims fall 13,000 to 553,000 for a week ending April 24th. So that's the good news. So the job claims fell, but what it doesn't say is they were expecting 540,000 jobless claims, and we got 553, 13,000 more than expected. But anyway you slice and dice this, how in the world is 553,000 or 540,000 or 450,000 or 700 or 800 or 1 million jobs a week? How is this good news? Any way you slice and dice it, we are losing massive amounts of jobs in America. And this is 553,000 people last week who filed first-time jobless claims who are now dependent on the government to give them money in order for them to eat. in order for them to survive. So over 500,000 people last week have become victims of this economy, now dependent on the government in order to pay their bills, in order to feed their families. It's getting really bad, ladies and gentlemen, and I really hope that you are heeding the warning. When I look at these jobless claims and I look at the amount of people who are really unemployed in America, 25.7%, we are months now into the reopening of this economy, and we're still losing over 500,000 jobs a week. And just physically think about what that looks like physically. 553,000 people. Imagine how many baseball stadiums 553,000 people would fill. Just think about the magnitude of that number, 553,000. How many Americans that is, who are now have become an addition to the millions who are already dependent on the U.S. government. How many middle-class Americans became now reliant or addicted to the U.S. government to take care of them? It's sad. More good news. GDP is up. Somebody sent me this today. U.S. GDP is up 6.4%. Well, we just spent $2 trillion. I sure would hope it would be up 6.4%. It should have been up a lot higher than that. Let's not forget that we've spent over $6 trillion in the last year. We just spent $2 trillion this year, and first quarter GDP at 6.4%. Well, when you give people billions of dollars to go out and spend money at Kohl's, Walmart, Best Buy, Target, etc., to buy goods made in other countries, of course the GDP is going to go up. Like, why wouldn't it? I've seen this movie before, ladies and gentlemen, and I know how it ends. Many of you may have been too young back in 2008, and many of you went through 2008. I wasn't prepared enough for that collapse, and I learned a valuable lesson. And I made it a goal that I would never allow myself to be unprepared, and that I would be ready for the next one. Many people today who went through 2008 are committing the same mistakes, recklessness and carelessness that they committed back in 2008. They're pulling money out of the homes, using them as ATMs to buy into the stock market. Now they're buying into cryptos. They're driving cars that they can't afford to drive. They're living in zip codes that they can't afford to live at. They're living in houses they can't afford. They're living a lifestyle way above their heads. And these people, this time around, are going to be wiped out yet again. But this time, most of those people are not going to have a second chance. This collapse, which has already started, ladies and gentlemen, it's already started, it's already begun, is going to be so much worse. I mean, the debt is 3 times higher than it was in 2008. We have so many bubbles in this one that we didn't have before. Interest rates were 4 or 5%. Now we're at 0. Global debt at $277 trillion. This collapse is going to make 2008 look like a Sunday school picnic. It's going to resemble more of what we saw back in 29 through the 30s, the Great Depression. But it could be a lot worse than that one too. The debts, the deficits, the bubbles. We're looking at this real estate bubble that is now beginning to dwarf 05, 06. It is a very, very critical time. And I cannot stress the importance to all of you to be preparing. You do not want to be caught with your guard down when this thing goes. This could go another 6 months. It could go another year, 2 years. Nobody knows. It could go 6 days. Nobody knows. Something could just spark one of these bubbles and it's game on. And you're going to wake up one day and your life's going to change. And if you're not prepared to deal with that, you're going to be in big trouble. You're going to be in really, really big trouble. And this is why it's imperative that all of you have a cash reserve put away, that you have some gold, that you have some silver, physical, in your portfolio. that you're not just gambling 100% in cryptos, not just gambling 100% in the stock market, or just holding paper 100%. You got to be holding on to real things, because as we look at collapses throughout history, just look at the one that's happening in Lebanon right now. People run to real things. They don't want paper, they don't want cash, they don't want stocks, they don't want that stuff's all worthless. Inflation kicks in and just eats it all up. They want real things. That's why they want gold, they want silver, they want real money. They want something they can hold in their hands. And so we're going to see that, I believe, here in America, and it's not that far away. It's not that far away. Don't be a victim of this. Again, I was not prepared for 2008, but I got through it. But there were a lot of people who didn't. A lot of people lost everything, got completely wiped out, lost houses, lost jobs, lost investments, lost retirements, lost everything. And those people, many of them never made it back. They went from being middle class or somewhat wealthy to broke. How would you like to go back to work at 65 or 72 or 80? No way. I was still young enough. I bounced back and I had cash put away, and I had some gold, and I was able to cash it in, and I had cash, and I didn't have a lot of debt. And that's what really saved me, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't have a lot of debt. Everything I had was paid for, and I had cash, and I had some gold, and I was able to cushion myself. But you start eating through a lot of cash just to live, just paying bills. You start eating through cash. You got to eat, you got to pay bills, you got to pay taxes, and that cash starts getting eaten up. And I was not able to capitalize on so many opportunities because I didn't have enough assets and I didn't have enough cash. I didn't have a lot of debt. I really had no debt, actually, but I should have had more cash, and I should have had more gold. I should have had more silver. This time's different. And on top of that, make sure that you got food and water reserves put away and security. That's going to be very, very important. You know I don't talk enough about that. We talk financially, but food and water are going to be extremely important this time around, I believe. Last time it wasn't, but we're in a whole different ballgame this time. This is not 2008. This is more like 29. So food and water is extremely important to have. This is not going to be another 2008. It's a whole different animal here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave it there. I want you to think about that. Think about, are you prepared enough? Comment down below. Are you prepared enough? If this thing collapsed next week, do you have enough food, water, security, gold, silver, cash? Do you have enough? Because this thing's not going to last a year, 2 or 3. This thing is going to last a long, long time. Are you prepared to weather this storm? Because it's going to be a bad one. Comment down below. Let me know. Are you prepared right now? If things implode next week, can you get through this? Let us know. And give us some ideas about your preparations. Food, water, assets, things like that. How are you preparing? Give us some ideas. I love when you guys comment and give us ideas, because there's so much knowledge, so many smart people out there. So let us know. Give us some ideas about what we should be doing right now today to prepare. God bless every one of you. Make sure you share this video. Look forward to talking to all of you soon.